All right, we're going to reunite with Karuta here, who has just successfully raided the fortress on the island that you've been sent to close the rift and destroy the Ashi fortifications on the island so that the Saiyans can reclaim their territory and make further strategic moves and plans to take on Shredder, who seems to be expanding across their islands. You guys successfully did those things, and you've uncovered that there was a prisoner still being held captive inside the fort that you rescued and freed. He's a little crass, even shooting at Lorna, your ally, when she stepped in front of his target as he seeked his revenge on some of the clan members that had tortured and injured him during his captivity. You guys smoothed things over for all intents and purposes and decided to flee before the dragons and the others arrived, setting off all the bombs that they had in stockpile, just destroying, decimating the fortress. You hear the breathing of fire and things just scorching the forest tree lines around the fortress as the dragon riders frantically seek those who would have sabotaged their base. But making quick haste through the jungle under the guide of your trusty ranger druid, Skybor, he got you out of harm's way fairly quickly and without turning around too much. And you took refuge in a cave where you all have decided to take a short rest. Even Raditz has joined you to collect himself, heal his wounds, and take the momentary breath of fresh air. As we rejoin the group, you guys are in that cage at Sanctuary, still kind of in the middle of your short rest. You're welcome to say, ask, or do anything during this short rest. I'll hand it over to you guys and what you guys might like to do today.
What's it like in the cave? I mean, are we moving around, jostling each other, or what?
It's not a deep cave. It's, maybe it housed a few bigger creatures at one point, but it's not cavernous where it goes through like branching and twisting. It seems like it leads to this large cavernous opening, but you guys are pretty much in the entryway of the cave. You can kind of look in and see all the area around you. It's in the middle of a hillside that you kind of saw the overhang of the terrain above you, so not a super deep cave, not a super large cave.
So as we move into the cave and we're stumbling around or whatever, the chaos of getting set and everything, I want to try to pick that guy's pocket and see if I can grab those papers that he took.
Okie dokie then. Make a sleight of hand check.
Also, what guy?
Raditz, the guy that you saved from the base.
Oh.
He searched for papers and he found some plans or something that were in the tent, and he took them.
Oh shoot, I never created you a bomb item sheet, did I? And did I have to get you anything else? Let me see here. I'll get you the bomb spread or item sheet.
Okay.
I think that was all I needed. But yep, go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check. 12.
Yep.
Actually, it would be a 15 because he can't roll under a 10.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
That's right. Thank you. I always think it's under a 10 after I add everything, but it's under a 10 before I add the bonuses. So it's a 15.
So as you try to discreetly bump in / lift the documents on his person, your hand starts to go into his pockets, and he reaches down and grabs you by the wrist, lifting you up in the air and staring you dead in the eye. And he goes, I didn't know my rescuers were also thieves willing to steal from me as soon as I dropped my guard. Are we going to have problems traveling together, or should we part ways now?
Just curious as to what you found. I mean, if we're traveling together, we should be forthcoming with each other and not hide stuff from each other. We've been forthcoming to you, with you. Can I
Well,
try
look,
to persuade him to share the papers with us?
try to persuade him from not being super mad at you right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Instead of his immediate thought of, throwing you off the side by your arm, his eyes kind of momentarily relax as he puts you back down. He goes, "The information I commandeered is for Lord Vegeta's ears and eyes only. But I will say you've piqued my interest. You are the lot that. How did your lot get employed by my Lord Vegeta to come on this mission, anyways?"
I don't think employed would be the correct response.
Well, you walked out of his palace on your own accord. I think that's one of the more pleasant exchanges our Lord has had in the past with other unwelcome visitors. So how did you guys convince him to hear you out and get volunteered for this?
Actually, we volunteered to show we could close it.
Huh, so you did manage to close the rift. I saw the
We
bright
did.
light from the distance and all the commotion of them moving out of the camp. I wasn't quite sure it's possible. He kind of looks you all up and down and says, "Surely it wasn't through sheer strength alone. What tricks did you use?" He
Do
kind
you
of
really-
pauses. Or go ahead.
Do you really believe tricks would work? And then her shield, seeing the others like turn them into keys, will kind of flip it and see if that turns it into a key, like up into her palm.
You can convert it to a key at will. And then
And then she'll turn it back into a shield. And so half helps.
do an insight check for me real quick, Callie. Okay. He scoffs at the key, but you can read him as it's he does find interest in what you shared with him, but he's kind of trying to cover up his interest in what you just shared, and but he responds, "Typical, always relying on magic and cunning instead of raw power. But I suppose even the weakest can be useful in their way. And
Oh,
what of the fortress? How'd you make it clear out of its defenses and rid the place without alarm?"
that's quite easy when you create a distraction like closing a hole in the sky. Also, do you really have stones to be throwing from the glass castle of being trapped? I doubt strong ones consider themselves imprisoned.
I admit I fell victim to my capture, but I'm sure I was just waiting for my opportunity to escape on my own.
You sure you are, or were you? I think wording like that might matter for people like you.
Go ahead and do another insight check. He's definitely trying to save face and cover his pride as he speaks, and he goes, "Well, you are clever, I'll give you that. And we could always use a few more brains for the troubles that lie ahead. But don't make you think that makes you equal to a Saiyan strength or Vegeta's clan. We're a breed apart. Still, I suppose you've proven yourselves competent, at least."
So glad you finally come to the right conclusion.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage, Callie. You've been doing really well on these insights and.
Hey.
Okay. All right. You're going to find out when we return to Lord Vegeta eventually, but I will share with you briefly what I've uncovered during my time there. Yes, while I was held captive, I was beaten and tortured among all this, amongst other things, but I also listened during my time in captivity, and I've heard rumors and rumblings during my time there, and two of which was potentially secret entrances into Shredder's stronghold on Kiroshima Island. They talked so much about it that I'm sure they had planned details or information about where and how to reach those places. And I also learned about Shredder has started speaking and communicating with a new visitor at his palace. A tiefling apparently has visited him with some very large and strong friends.
Dan, did this guy give us his name, or do we know his name?
I thought I gave it to you last session, but if you asked me,
You
give it.
may have. I wasn't here.
I might have assumed his name.
No,
and,
I was not here last session, so I don't know.
We'll
the
retcon
player
and say
is
that
not.
he has eventually shared his name along the flight and getting to this cave.
Great. What's his name?
Raditz.
Thank you. Callie's kind of looking him up to say that. You know, Mr. Raditz, for somebody who looks down on being clever, you are rather clever yourself.
Well, someone a high-ranking warrior like myself doesn't get there just muscles alone. It's not just enough to be strongest. Got something that sets you apart from the pack.
To me, that seems more of how you stay there. But if Shredder is meeting with these tieflings, it turns out we have the same enemy as Vegeta.
Well, then I'm glad to hear that we are aligned. You've proven yourself as crafty and definitely capable to some extent. And I fear not even the might of the Saiyans alone is going to be able to brute force its way through this problem.
Unfortunately, you're correct.
We are in agreement there, and hopefully King Vegeta will see the same thing once we share this intel with him when we get back to his palace.
Will he? She kind of looks around to Cronus too, because she doesn't quite believe it. Will this work?
Do what?
Can we get him on our side now?
I mean, I didn't think the conversation was going that bad first time around, but apparently it did. So, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask for this.
Vegeta's proud, but he is not stupid, and he will have to understand the severity of the situation if giants have joined the likes of the Ashi. It was one terrible instance when they had dragons. They were commanding the dragons that reappeared. The giants on top of it, working together with the Arashi. That spells bad news for the entire realm, not even just Vegeta's islands.
No, the problems of the realm are coming to your islands now. The tieflings work for the Dark One. Or the, no, yeah, Dark One's the correct word. And unfortunately, so do some of the giants, and not all dragons are aligned with better forces. Turns out, I guess it's time for your isolation to end. Because it's come knocking.
We feel much better once we get off this island and back to Vegeta's palace. Rally the
Yeah.
troops and support, and make our plans on how we're gonna take this victory and use it to our benefit. They may still have creatures of darkness roaming these lands and in their palace, but that rift was a major blow to them, as I am not aware of any other rifts in the Samros Islands in this region. So at least we have stop the bleeding for the moment. Well, I can fly out of here, but what is your plans on getting off this island, as soon as we can?
Well, as soon as nighttime comes, we can summon our ship.
And then we can fly us and everybody else off this island.
Flying ships, more tricks. But a welcome trick indeed. I wouldn't mind saving my energy and muscles to recover from this arduous past few days.
You mean to reserve your strength for when you take on Shredder with us, right?
If Lord Vegeta commands it.
Phrasing. Somebody who covets strength, you might want to frame it a little better for you.
I'm not so sure you know Vegeta as well enough, but he doesn't take kindly to people that jockey for a power position over him.
No, but under him.
His posture is kind of lightened. He's not as stiff. He obviously still is very proud, and he will use his strength and any kind of techniques he has to kind of maintain his pride in his strength and his pride, his warrior class. But he seems to be more at ease with your group as you guys relax and recover in this cave over the next hour.
How close to nightfall is it?
You guys stormed the stronghold pretty much in the morning, so you have a couple hours to go. So I would say close to 8 to 12 hours to hide out or explore this jungle.
I could
Alright,
just
what's our
summon
plan?
some giant owls and have us fly out of here.
I mean, the only issue I see with that is once we're above the tree line, if they're
Right.
still flying around,
Wait, how bad do we all look? Like, how beat up does everybody look?
I think everyone's pretty rough, but I don't know if everyone has started to heal from the short rest or not. But everyone was pretty rough before the short rest.
Mm-hmm. Callie's gonna look around at the mention of the owls and dragons. You know, it might look better if we healed up before we go towards Vegeta. No need to look like we got our ass kicked.
Raditz will nod in agreement. Not that Vegeta doesn't respect a few battle scars, but I do look like a awful mess as he kind of looks over. As the wounds are started to, stop to bleed, and he's used some kind of herbal remedies and stuff from presumably things he scrounged from the tent when looking for those papers. But his clothes are soaked in blood, and he is covered in kind of dirt and bruises over the past torment he's been over the past few days. There should definitely be some sources of water between here and the beach if that's where we're trying to meet your ship and fly out of here. Wouldn't mind stopping by and dipping in for a quick rinse before we go back to see Lord Vegeta.
oh, you're mistaken. We can summon our ship anywhere. It doesn't have to be by water.
It could literally be right on top of this cave. But point noted, if you want to freshen up, we can try and find that too.
I'd hate to see your ship get caught up in flames, as you described before, by the dragons again, but we did make some decent distance away. Hopefully we can board unnoticed before we can get out of here. I'm not sure how your vessel works, so I will follow your lead on that. As long as we get off this island before the end of the day.
I'm going to go with it probably works by divine magic. So, sleeping shifts.
Sure. You guys want to take a long rest then?
I think so.
I think it's probably best.
Okay. Who is taking the first shift then? And who's taking second? And who's taking third?
Callie's less beat up, so I'll take first.
Okay.
I'll take first.
Ivor will take second. What was the? I heard someone else say something. Who's taking?
I'll take first. Also,
Okay, Callie and
I'll
Steam on
pull
first.
out my. I think I have a guitar. Play my guitar.
Maybe don't. Just saying.
I'm a performer. I got.
Yeah,
to
can you
perform.
like perform after we get off the island where everybody's hunting us down?
It's a nice, soft lullaby to calm everybody down.
In
In
a
the-
large cave.
Which would amplify the sound.
Then
Actually,
maybe don't.
I'm more of an actor, not a music player. I don't have an instrument, so that's fine.
Right.
I mean, I heard interpretative acting, or miming is a very good way to perform.
Have any lullabies you can mime?
Are you?
So who would like to take third watch?
I will.
I'll
Okay.
take it with Cronus.
Remember, watching.
What do you think we'll be doing?
It's not really my place to presume, but you do remember who my mother is, right?
Yes. I won't say you're wrong, but in this case, you're wrong. We are in the. I'm just going to be
all right.
quiet now.
All right.
Right.
So everyone settles down for rest. Raditz kind of is the last one to fall asleep, kind of keeping his eye on you, Celine, the entire time. He kind of moves the papers a little bit closer to his chest before he falls asleep in case someone would try to rob him again. But he eventually does close his eyes to start recovering.
Oh.
It's unclear if he's sleeping or if it's more of a meditation at this point.
Probably like 20 minutes after he falls asleep, if Celine's still around. You know, you really may not want to start stealing fast. It's a lot easier to make friends with honey than, oh, no, it's catch flies with honey than vinegar.
It's in my nature.
A performer?
I was
I thought you would have asked him first.
No, I'm a, oh, what is it called? Arcane trickster. I just
And?
use performance as part of my setup. I was actually going for his watch.
Is he telling the truth?
You can definitely roll. You can whisper me deception or persuasion, depending on what you're saying, Salim, and roll insight, Callie. That would be, you would whisper that in the future, but that would be a deception roll since you told me you were going for the papers. So go ahead and re-roll deception there, Salim. Holy shit. Yeah, you buy it for, you buy his story that he seemed that he was going for something else on his person besides the intel.
His wallet.
I was about to say, is he even wearing a watch?
It's a pocket watch.
Mm.
He does seem to have.
I saw a bulge in his pocket. I thought it was a watch or a wallet.
He's got very little things, but Salim, very little things on his person from being captured. But he's very convincing.
Right. Still, trying to make more allies than enemies. Maybe don't try and rob a potential ally.
These guys are never going to be allies. They're going to use us and discard us. But
You don't know that. You can't know that. The world's
so, you
about
want
to
to
be
play cards?
just. Why? So you can cheat at it?
You're not trying if you're not cheating.
You're not good if you're cheating.
You have to be good at cheating in order to be successful.
And sometimes it's much better to be honestly good than to be falsely good. One lasts a lot longer than the other. Because you can only lie while you can breathe. And no, that's not a threat of murder.
It's a promise.
You're supposed to be sleeping.
You're sleeping.
It was his inner
I feel like
thoughts.
she just says it in her dream and then goes back to sleep.
She's
you have
sleep talking.
A Scottish conscience going through your brain at the moment. So, do you guys play cards during your watch as you keep an eye and ear out for danger?
No.
Okay, well, give me a perception check, both of you, while you're on watch, at least.
Like, no, he's gonna cheat. That it mattered.
1 second, guys.
I got a 13.
3.
All right, as you guys kind of make watch, discussing, Celine tries to convince you to play some cards. You guys continue to keep a watchful eye and ear out, and the jungle's making all sorts of noise around you. It is starting to. The sky is starting to brighten. The birds are starting to come alive a little bit more, and do their song and everything. And you do still hear the distant wail and screech of one of those horrible creatures you've encountered in the past off in the distance. You keep a trained ear to those types of threatening noises, and it's hard to tell if any of it is moving closer or further away from you. But your 2 hours kind of wrap up, otherwise uneventful. And you go to wake up Skybor, and I believe it was just you, Skybor, on second watch, right?
Yep.
All right.
I just realized I could have done something before we took a nap, but I'll do it now since it's my turn to watch.
Okay, what were you thinking about doing?
I'm going to make the cave entrance look like just a normal, stone slab.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And that's a how does a creature have a chance to detect if they have to make some kind of save?
Investigation.
Gotcha.
And
Alright.
after I cast that, I'm going to keep an eye out.
Sure. Hour goes into your watch. You do hear some odds, creatures from a distance and some screeching that seems to be not too far off from your location. Those disembodied wails and howls, but still seems far away. At one point, though, later in your watch, you'll see what seems to be this giant wolf seeming to walk through the trees and the bushes and stuff. It seems to be looking around and sniffing the air, and otherwise just looking intently around the area. One second. Although it looks seemingly like a wolf, a large wolf, its form is quite majestic and a little unsettling just by looking upon it. Its fur is deep midnight black, but there seems to be almost a shimmer of some kind of glow that's captured in the morning light and through the tapestry of the trees above that sprinkle through the canopy. You notice silver markings and patterns along its muscular frame that seem to make, rather than stripes or typical, pattern on animals that you're used to seeing, these seem to be more purposeful patterns and almost hinting at mystical purposes. As it looks around, you will notice that his eyes are not shaped and formed like normal wolf eyes, and you see glowing blue orbs that pierce through as it looks around. The eyes are serene, but full of wisdom, but also have a hint of sorrow in them. It looks around as it's patrolling nearby the cave, and as it kind of gets within a few, 20 yards of where you've put up the mystical terrain, it does stop and start to lift its nose up in the air and sniff. It seems to look around in the general area, examining the terrain around it, and eventually looks at your direction, not directly at you, but kind of in your direction where his nose is sniffing and smelling. His body kind of focuses and his eyes focus as well. And then you see him immediately put his ears back, his back stiffens, and you hear this wail and screech from the distance. It sniffs the air and kind of pinpoints the smell as well as where the noise came from. And it seems to take off in that direction after just being near your cave for a little bit of time.
Do I know what this is?
You can make a nature check before he takes off, yeah. While you're not familiar with this exact species, you are familiar with creatures of this type from where you grew up, and that your people had a long tradition and faith of the animals were just not purely animals, but almost had spirits attached to them, and maybe people that lived former lives or had came back as a different animal. So you get the hint that this is some type of magical or spirit type animal. you're welcome to do or say or anything before he does take off. Since you asked for that nature check before he takes off on that alert that he just picked up.
Okay. I'm going to step out through the illusionary stone slab, and I'm going to speak in druidic to it.
Okay.
I'm going to ask, where are you from?
Okay. As you step out, go ahead and do an animal handling real quick, just to see how calm you maintain your composure as you step out. Okay. You don't step out too quick. You don't step out too slow. You have a kind of calming presence as you walk confidently outside the cave where you guys are currently resting. The wolf sniffing in your direction as smells have caught its nose as it was trying to examine what was exactly going on with the train. And as the train kind of mystically lets you just walk through it kind of catches a little bit of surprise, but eventually it just sits down looking in your general direction. As you speak words to it, its eyes kind of flip and twitch, and it leans its head as it looks like it's understanding you. But it doesn't seem to be able to speak back to you. But as you speak to it and look into its eyes, you see wisdom, not animalistic instincts. You see eyes that seem to be able to comprehend and understand what you're asking it.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be in a calm disposition. It's not, threatened by your presence, nor does it seem aggressive towards you in any way.
I don't know if this will work or not, but I could spend a I think it's a single charge on the staff to allow me to speak with animal. Let me see how many charges it takes. One charge. So I want to spend one charge to speak with animals. Maybe then it might work.
Okay.
Quick. Can you help us?
He looks at you and responds and says, "What kind of help do you need? What has brought you to this land of mine?"
We are currently being pursued by the enemy. We're going to wait till nightfall to leave, and we do not wish for our ship to be noticed. Will it be possible if you can scout and see where other individuals are scouting?
At mention of the enemy, his teeth show briefly in agitation. You speak of those people setting off bombs and destruction, or those with the tails that seem to just destroy and take whatever they wish. Or perhaps you speak of those ghastly creatures with claws and teeth of blackness and eyes of white light.
Yeah, the latter.
I feel a change in the lands recently, but they're definitely still out roaming and combing the jungles themselves, looking for anything of purity to consume or kill. He looks at you all, or looks at you, and I don't sense any type of malice from you, though. What has brought you to odds with these creatures and brought you here?
It is a very long story.
Understood. For I have been here a very long time, trying to maintain somewhat of the balance and protection of these poor creatures in these woods. But those creatures of darkness have made it very bleak and hard to do what I used to be able to do here.
Yes, they are an invasive species. They do not belong in this land.
If you will help me take care of some of the wildlife here, I will happily scout and help you reach safety to the coast. But even I admit that I am not strong enough alone to take on some of these more formidable creatures that attack the wildlife here. Would you be able to aid me in saving some of these creatures from the clutches of these shadows?
Skywar's going to look back toward the direction of the cave.
The dog's eyes follow your eyes back to the cave.
I fear that I may not be able to.
His head kind of tilts, questioning at you.
I believe that my companions aren't as they probably think that wildlife may be a little low priority on their list.
You keep the company of people that don't hold you in high esteem, it seems. I don't understand. He kind of looks you up and down. I sense that you're very intelligent and wise as well, or very intelligent and wise.
I wouldn't say intelligent, but
Or you seem you have an aura about you that seems wise and kind. I would imagine you would turn away, helping one of us in our time of need.
I left my companions once, and I didn't agree with their methods, but I've been put in a position where I have no choice. There's a threat much bigger than all of us, and it means having to put aside our ideals for the greater good.
He'll kind of stand now and approach you slowly, Skywar, moving away from his seat at a distance. Now he's just within feet of you, and you get full, you fully embrace the grandeur of his large size as he sits down, still meeting you eye level, and only being a few feet away from you. There's always a choice to make the right decision. I am not asking you to dispatch this whole jungle of darkness creatures, but there are a few there are a few creatures that have lost their mother to these horrid things that I cannot protect them alone, as well as the remainder of the forest. But I'm hoping that if I save a few, it'll make me feel better about not being able to protect their mother and find some peace with what I've done here.
Perhaps we can compromise. You can lead us through this forest, take us to the path of whatever these creatures, and we will dispatch them along our way toward the coast.
It's been days since I've been to the coast. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. What type of journey are you and your companions compelled to follow and travel along at this time? Does it have something to do with these horrendous creatures or where they come from?
Yes, it does.
I will be happy to lead you to safety if your goals are to eliminate these creatures from our world. If your group can stay silent and travel lightly, I can promise that we can avoid more confrontation than we have, but there are two cubs that I really want to make sure are find a safe place to dwell before I move on from this place.
You mean a place for them to stay?
He nods. Creatures killed their mother in their den, and that place is no longer safe for them to remain.
We could bring them along with us, and we can find them a new home.
His tail kind of flips and flaps, not a full wag, but it's definitely a show of gratitude and happiness in what you are saying. He'll start to paw or raise his paw, kind of like a dog does, to like reach out at you, almost to take your hand, for you to kind of grab his paw in your hand. And as you do, you start to feel that otherworldly kind of aura from this creature. You feel more of that wisdom and sorrow from past lives that he has maybe witnessed in the past, suggesting that he may be a creature that has dwelled here for a long time, but maybe has come from other regions of the world and has traveled to Fantasia before. It sounds like we have mutual goals. Perhaps I'd like to see where you and your friends lead from this. If it means the elimination of these terrible creatures. He kind of looks at you and he kind of says, "You seem like you're tired. There's no need to rush off right away. Perhaps once you've collected and caught your breath, I can show you where I have found the cubs, or where the cubs are hiding right now."
All right. I want to let my friends know about you, so that they don't, accidentally kill you. Because I'm going to be honest, they're kind of bloodthirsty.
His ears kind of go flat, not backwards, but like kind of off to the side, flat.
Yeah, I mean, the woman, she just killed a guy when he was completely defenseless. It was horrible. But
Perhaps you're more important to your group than you and your decision making than you think. Seems like they need a moral compass like you from time to time.
it kind of feels like my words aren't being heard. But I'm trying.
Sometimes it's the words we choose to say and how we choose to say them. But I can sense your intention. And I'm sure that your friends, if they're close enough to you, can recognize some of that themselves. How long does this, I'm sorry, not to break character, but how long does this Speak with Animals last again?
Let's read. It lasts for. Crap, let me look.
10 seconds.
Nah.
No, I think it lasts for quite a while, doesn't it?
Probably either 10 minutes or an hour. Let me speak.
It's okay, I'll figure it out. Just keep going if there's
Speak
anything else you want to
with
say or discuss.
Animal.
10 minutes, so
Survey says. If it loads.
it's 10 minutes. But you're good. You're good on time.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back into the cave now. You could join if you like. Just no sudden movements. And I'm gonna walk back through the illusion. And I'm gonna wake up Lorna and Cronus and let them know about the wolf, and I made a deal to take a couple of cubs with us till we find a home for them.
Lorna is just waking up and she's very confused as fuck. It's just sitting there like, you did what?
All right, good night.
Oh, Scott, you can't. Okay. Cronus, what did he just say?
Standing kind of right behind you there, Skyward, as you walk back into the cave.
That. Right. Hello. Just staring at the wolf.
He does one of those air paws, not to take your hand or anything, but just kind of paw in the air in front of him.
Right.
He whispers to you, Skyward, "Is that the mean one?"
Lorna's just very confused.
Yeah, you just hear kind of like these weird, not barks or anything, but
It's like when a husky tries to talk.
Oh boy.
Hey, some of them do talk. There's one that
They-
says "I love you."
Yeah.
That's true. There's also one that says no very
You need-
clearly.
you need to roll a way higher animal handling for that.
Oh boy. Hey, you never know. Right. Okay, we're just gonna take watch. Right.
Mhm.
And Lauren's gonna like scoot around the wolf and just kind of peek her head outside, realizing, oh, there's a barrier there now. Yeah. Much confusion. Alrighty, perception checks.
Sure. Go ahead, give me a perception. You and Furnace, I believe, are on watch duty now.
Yuppers.
And
A 10.
He's a bit distracted.
okay. right as oops. All right. So you guys go on watch, and as you guys do that, the wolf will go over near you, Skyborn. Not right next to you, but kind of lay in your general vicinity as you guys kind of prepare and as you kind of let him know when you're ready for him to lead you from your place of rest. Lorna and Cronus, you guys do step outside, and you will hear some of the disembodied screeching and wailing and stuff. As you get into your watch, though, you will hear a screech and a wail. It doesn't seem that far away. This is probably the later half of your watch, and it's loud enough to perk the ears of the wolf in the cave and cause him to lift his head and look in that direction. His ears kind of go down. He lets a little, a slight whine out, um, and looks back at Skyward and the rest of your group, but he decides to stay put. He is now no longer kind of laying down, and he's fully alert, kind of waiting to go on a walk. And he just seems to be at attention and alert right at the moment. Otherwise, your 2 hours winds down, and the wolf will kind of start walking towards the door and just slightly out of your guys' reach and sit down nearby. Again, his large stature is, for a wolf of his size, is pretty impressive, and he sits nearby, waiting for your group to collect themselves and to follow his lead through the jungle. Raditz will wake up and say, "When do we get a dog?"
Sometime in the middle of the night. Skybor?
I also don't think that's quite classified as a dog.
He is a spirit of the forest.
That's cool.
Huh.
So I think we had a long rest.
Yes, you did.
Cool.
Everyone got a long rest. Let me go quick and do a nature check for.
I don't have those 7 temporary hit points anymore, do I?
Nope.
No.
Okay, that's gone.
But you do have 5. She pats you on the shoulder.
See this. Okay. Roll nature. A spirit dog, you say? He kind of studies it, looks over. I have not seen one of these with my own eyes here, but I have heard of them before. They're called I'm going to say this wrong. Let me actually just do a quick pronunciation check on this. It's an Inugami. A spirit wolf, as you described. It must have had a master a long time ago that, when it was still a regular wolf, I thought very fondly of it and decided to bury it in a ritual to have it come back as a protector or a guardian of some sort. I assume his guardian or his master has been away for her, has been gone for some time now. If it's about here though, in the middle of nowhere. Wolf kind of puts his ears down, but then and kind of moves around a little bit away from your group, and so it's just a little bit further, but still pointing in the direction he's ready to kind of take off in.
Poor thing.
So yeah, we're going to be taking in a couple of cubs as we head out.
All right. Did it? Did they tell you anything else?
We probably be fighting some of those shadow creatures.
Good to know.
Right. I mean, I'm down for it. If we can save somebody else, why not?
Mm-hmm. Anything else we need to know? Like, what type of creatures are we taking in?
Aye.
Bears.
Okay.
Bear cubs. Haven't wrestled with any of those in a while.
Remember, cubs.
Yes? You realize how
Same.
large they are?
Depends on how tiny the cub is.
I mean, you can still wrestle with them and not hurt them.
I wouldn't recommend doing that when the mama bear's around.
Oh, no. Of course not. No.
Well,
Just
wait, if we're rescuing them, is there a mother we need to return them to?
No, she's dead.
Oh.
It could be wolf cubs too.
No, they're bear cubs.
Either way, orphaned cubs, so we need to capture them, protect them, all of that stuff. What?
Well, you know.
Everybody ready for a walk?
Aye.
Yes.
No, I was just saying that, if we send them up to my sister, she might be able to take them in.
Yeah, we gotta swing by there anyway. Gotta pick up Crunch's kid from school.
Right? I'm sure
Yeah.
there's...
Your teenage dragon you sort of left with your sister.
He's more Cronus' kid than mine, but, yes.
Come on.
It
Your
is.
stepson, then.
He is kind of cute. But that's besides the point. Why did I go British?
Because I am.
Yes.
That was my
That's
fault.
exactly what happened.
Her accent's contagious.
It is. I
It
didn't know what
really is.
happened.
You be careful.
Oh no, I have to become Scottish again before I go back home. Yes, we will eventually at some point. I don't know what's happening. Let's go for a walk.
Just kind of look towards the nature spirit. After you. Spirit?
Kind of
Wolf?
stands up
Cool.
and looks at your group and notions that you kind of Skybore as he kind of takes off into the woods a little bit. Not running off, but he kind of takes the lead and starts heading in the direction of the beach and presumably the cubs that he hopes that you guys can rehome. Kind of looking back over his shoulder every once in a while to make sure you guys are following.
We're absolutely following along.
Mm-hmm.
Stealthily,
Yes.
I may add.
Tempting.
Mm.
Few hours in, not going to be long before the stars, the night sky starts to reveal itself and the stars start to appear again. Where you guys are starting to walk and the wolf stops in a halting kind of motion and starts sniffing the air around it. It kind of lowers its ears back and starts to growl off in the distance. Looks back at your group and motions, but he seems to be kind of on the defense. You see him to start moving so a little less freely, and he starts to kind of like bring his ears back. His back starts to straighten. He starts to lower down to the floor as he starts taking him. Still strides, but much slower and more graceful as he moves through the jungle, trying to not disturb trees or branches. Still pausing every so often to look back to make sure he's not losing you.
Yeah, I will also be cautious.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I will go ahead and go invisible.
Okay. Go out for minutes, a few minutes longer until you see a large tree stump kind of falling over the ground. Storm broken it and caused it to land and decay over some time. It's got some plants and fungus growing up such as the shell, and you see the wolf cautiously start to approach that. It then sticks its head in the hole of this fallen tree and starts to sniff a lot, and for a moment his tail wags for a few moments until he kind of jerks out of the thing and starts to sniff around the area further, and he starts to grunt, looking back at you and your group. It's not moments, or not too much afterwards, where you hear the familiar screeching and wailing of dark creatures, and the nearby jungle start to move and animate in the woods. He will immediately try to duck behind the tree, the fallen tree, and hide. What do you guys do?
You know, Lorna's gonna follow suit and she's going to try and tuck behind a tree, but she's pulling out her sword and readying for whatever might pop out.
Yeah, I'm gonna join that train of thought. I'll try to hide.
Try.
I can help with that by polymorphing you. You're now a
No.
mouse.
Callie immediately turns you down. She's like, Been there, done that. Do not want to be a weasel again.
So
I'm going to hide also.
this is kind of the area. We'll say this is like the area where the little fallen log is at. So go ahead and distribute your guys around that general area as you see fit. Or you guys would like to try to take cover.
I am not going to take cover because I'm invisible and I think I'm probably good. So that way I can keep a better eye out.
Okay.
Is the log towards the wolf or where?
Yeah.
Where's the stuff coming?
Log's like right here, and the wolf's kind of ducked behind it. All right. It's not long before you start to feel that the air cool around you, and and the unnatural darkness start to bleed through the trees and the surroundings. That is not due to the fact that night is starting to fall upon you. And within moments, you see some of these creatures appear, just kind of not pushing the leaves, but rather just moving through the bush and stuff, undisturbing the leaves, but they're shadowy figures just kind of melting and coming through. Let me go back to this layer. Start to walk and glide across the trees, pausing momentarily to kind of shriek or let out an otherworldly noise back at the other one. I'm sorry, I did not ask for a stealth check for everyone. Go ahead and give me stealth checks. Advantage to those that are invisible and those that are polymorphed.
Oh, she's not polymorph. She refused.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
I got a 15.
All right. Check their passives real quick.
I mean, they noticed this. I mean, Callie roll a 2.
I rolled a 10. I would like to point out. Roll20 refuses to believe my armor does not give me disadvantage because it is a different magical item, but it does not give me disadvantage on stealth.
Alright, what was that, Callie?
I have a 10, not a 2.
Okay.
Because no matter what I do, Roll20 thinks I have disadvantage. I do not.
He doesn't get one. His passive is not high enough. He does, however. The one, as it's traveling through the trees and stuff, seems to kind of look in your direction, Callie. It's not quite making out who or what it is, but it kind of screech and wails in your general direction and catching the attention of some of the other creatures that it's traveling with. At this point, you'll also see a larger shadowy creature appear from the tree line not far behind them. That's also been made aware of its shrieks and wails. At this point, everyone else does have surprise on these if you wanted to, take part in ambushing them. But Callie, you would have to wait through after the surprise round, as they are. Jump out, they're gonna be
I'm
well
absolutely willing to be the bait. So
Okay.
I will wait while the others do things.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up this. Remove all turns. I assume you all are wanting to strike down these creatures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're gonna talk to them and be like, hey, we know we killed all of your other people, but like, do you want to be friends?
We're gonna turn Skybor into the biggest liar because this wolf is like just hearing about how brutal we are.
Oh.
I know, just heard we're all murderers.
Oh boy.
All evil murderers, and then we just kind of wait.
They don't seem that bad.
You don't know them like I knew them.
Shoot, do you add initiative or it's just dexterity but modifier to your initiative, right?
Correct.
Just dexterity, yeah.
Okay. Alright. And did I forget anyone? Dang. Still have not fixed them. Credits. Credit. Darkness ready. Finish. Dark. Okay, skipping the surprised enemies. We're gonna start with you, Cronus. Well, actually, any of you are welcome to take your turns, and in whatever order you have, except for you, Callie. You'll have to wait till next rotation. How would the rest of you like to act, or who wants to go first?
I would go ahead and run up to the big guy.
Okay. Go ahead.
And
Go for it.
so are these with advantage?
I believe you are at advantage. Let me double check.
I know my first one's gonna have advantage because I'm invisible.
Yeah, only your first one's gonna be at advantage because as soon as you attack, you become visible again.
Okay.
So your first one will have advantage, but your subsequent attacks will not have advantage.
So here's my polearm.
That's a hit for 13 points of damage.
And then add my cosmic.
All right, for another 13.
And then my second polearm.
Wails and looks directly at you, this massive creature. Go for it.
For 18.
Sorry, my character sheet for the guy went away. For 18, that hits as well. For 16 more points of damage.
And then like we get bonus actions and all that, right?
Actually, let me double check. For some reason, I thought that surprise rounds you only get an action or one or the other. No, you get both. You get both.
Okay.
You take an action and a bonus action is normal.
Key point for flurry of blows. So here's 2 more.
All right. 20 hits for another 13. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right, Lorna McKinley, what would you like to do?
Cause some chaos.
Okay.
She's gonna scoot up to this one first and try and hit it. It's her, so she is going to bonus action rage first. And then she is going to reckless great weapon master this dude.
Go for it.
25. I assume hits.
25 hits, yep.
Perfect. That is 30 points of damage. And I'll take the cosmic off. 16
That hits.
for 25 points.
This appears into brilliant white light and resistance.
Okay.
All right. Anything else for your turn?
Then she's going to use more movement to go up there. And that is her turn.
Bonus action.
You used
I
bonus
raged.
action. Oh, you did rage. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Celine,
Sadly.
what would you like to do, sir?
I will fire my short bow at the one next to Cronus.
Okay. Go for it. With advantage and with stealth. So our sneak.
Yep.
damage on.
22.
Yep. That's a hit.
$40.
What's sneak damage? Is that force? Is that right?
No, it's piercing. It's the
Piercing
same
because it's a bow.
It's the same as your weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then the cosmic damage. So
All right, go ahead and roll cosmic.
it's in there.
Oh, it's in there. Okay, let me. And then. Correct. Or actually, you know what? I haven't checked, but is your short bow? Oh yes, it's a +1, so it is magical.
Yep.
All right. That brings us up to Raditz.
I'm going to hide.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a stealth, please.
15.
Okay. So Raditz kind of seems bothered by this whole display of helping this animal, and doesn't seems like it's a little bit beneath him, but he begrudgingly kind of lifts his hand up in a little bit in boredom and just attempts to try to strike out. He's going to attack the one that's next to you, Cronus, with 2 of his attacks. 1 and 2. Those both hit for a total of 40 radiant damage. Which is doubled and destroys that creature right before your eyes. Evenness with the Wraith and the Wolf. The Wolf is going to jump out of its hiding place and pouncing right in front of the Wraith. And it is going to... I have not made a character sheet, so let me pull that up real quick. Okay. And it's going to make 2 bite attacks at the creature, so let me do that. 19 and a 21 both hit. Go ahead and roll damage here. Alright, for 25 points of damage there. That brings us to you, Skywar. What would you like to do?
10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. Sure. I'm going to planar warrior this guy. And boop. Cosmic, and I want to shoot my bow at him.
Okay.
26 to hit for the 24 damage.
That hits. Which one were you talking? This guy on the left or the one by Lauren?
This one right here.
Okay. 24 points of damage.
Alright. And I want to shoot him again without Cosmic or Planar Warrior.
Okay. Go for it.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit.
For 11 more.
Alright.
And that's turn.
Alright. Callie Storm. Oh, well, sorry. You're not
no.
on this rotation. So, back to the top of the order. Cronus, what would you like to do?
I will go ahead and run up here and attack this one.
Or?
Oh, 27.
That's a hit.
Man, 6 more cosmic.
Okay. 17, 24, 30. 30. Okay. Got it. It definitely lets more of those whales out as you strike him. What else would you like to do? Anything else?
Another attack, so 27.
Yep. That's another 17 plus 8 lightning. Okay.
And I will do just a single unarmed attack for
Okay.
my bonus action.
Alright. 27 hits for 9 points of blood. It seems like it's having a harder time keeping its full form each time you strike and attack its form.
And I will stay right here.
Okay. Alright. Lorna McKinley, what would you like to do?
Well, you know, what she does best. Smack things around. She is going to... Not reckless, because he's there. So... Grow up, Master. With the cosmic damage. 19.
That hits.
For 33 points.
Alright.
And we'll do another one. 17.
17. That is a hit as well for another 33.
Yes.
Oh, wait. We'll have to take the cosmic off.
Oh,
so-
sorry, yes. My bad.
So 3. Rage is force. Is that right?
Uh, rage is rage.
No, just weapon.
Just, yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
But I have plus magic weapons, so.
Okay.
It's not dead yet?
It's not dead yet.
Okay. She's gonna scoot around here, boop Cronus on the nose, and scoot back, giving him temporary hit points of 9.
Okay.
And that is her turn.
All right. The sorcerer is going to go next, and he is going to cast the spell Darkness. I'll find myself what that is. 15-foot radius. Okay, let me grab that one. 15 foot. And he's going to put it right there. Ah, shoot, I've been forgetting to do all their special shadow stuff because it's nighttime. That's on me, not on you. Okay. I was wondering why these were going down so much quicker than last time. I was like, man, I don't remember you guys walking all over them, and that would be why.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. It's my fault. It's gonna cast Shadow Darkness, and then it is going to then in the map layer move to where the wolf doesn't know exactly where it's at. All right, Forgotten Spirit is dead. Bringing us to you, Salim. What would you like to do?
I will shoot the one I can see.
Go for it.
Down by Lorna and Cronus.
Okay.
$20,
That's a hit.
38.
That's it. Just gets destroyed and turned into bright white light again. Like the others.
And then I will hide.
Alright. Let's roll a percentile die and see how close. Where's the percentile? I guess I just wrote D100. See how he does on his disadvantaged attack rolls. Really not that interested in the wildlife here. But he wants to end this battle as quickly as possible, so he's going to throw a little caution in the wind, so this could not be the best. Let's just go ahead and try this. 1, 2. Alright. Let me double check the dogs, the wolf's armor. Alright. Yeah, disadvantage, right? Yep. So the first attack blasts through the darkness bubble, and you will hear a quick yelp come from within the bubble itself. The other blast goes into this bubble in a completely different general direction, and does make purchase with something else that you hear this screeching, wailing voice that you've seen many times before, or heard many times before. All right. There he's gone too. Bringing us to the dog's turn. He is going to use all of his movement to kind of roam around, thrash around until he finally kind of catches wind of the creature, and he's going to attempt to make his 2 bite attempts again at it. So let me go ahead and do those. That is going. Oh wait, it's disadvantage. We got a 13, which is a miss, and then we have a 10, which is a miss, as it tries to bite at the creature in the shadow, unsuccessfully. Skywar, what would you like to do, sir? You did hear the wail of the creature after Raditz shot, so you have a better idea of where it's at. But you also heard the the wince or the painful noise of the wolf itself getting struck by one of the other blasts.
All right, I'm going to Thorn Whip.
Okay.
I want to try to attack the thing and pull him out.
Okay. Roll a D100. Let's see, how close, how good you are at putting a bead on the guy. Okay, you got a pretty good bead on it. So go ahead and roll your attack with disadvantage. 18 is going to be a hit. So you send the thorn whip. Now, what does the thorn whip do again?
Pull him 10 feet closer to me. So he's gonna be like right up on me.
Let me make sure he's. What else do you have up your sleeve, sir? Nothing, actually, because you already have disadvantage. You can't impose double disadvantage. Make sure he's not immune from grappling and stuff like that.
Oh, it's not really grapple.
That's fair, but he can move through physical objects, so I'm trying to keep that in consideration. But it's like a magical attack. It's not an actual plant attack, right?
Yeah, I mean it's magical plant. I mean.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So go ahead. 18 does hit for 8 piercing and 9 cosmic, and you move him 10 feet closer.
Yep.
Do that. So that will be. All right.
It is true.
Hallie, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna come up behind this dude. And pull out the hilt of the sword I keep at my side, which didn't matter this time, but it is important to know is made of sunlight.
Oh, okay.
And it emits a bright light in a 15-foot radius around me. And
You
dim light
son
15
of a
foot
bitch.
past that.
Okay, go for it.
So it's in
Nullifies what I
sunlight
was
for right
hoping to
now.
be able to do.
And I'm gonna stab it now that it's out of the darkness.
What is the blade? It's a radiant blade or whatever?
Sunblade.
Sunblade.
It's also a 29.
29 hits. Go ahead, roll damage.
Cool. We're gonna add our divine strike on this because we can. So that's a lot of sixes. 27 radiant damage. And
he
some cosmic.
disappears to bright white light like his former allies had done before. Immediately dispatching the spell, the darkness that surrounded the wolf and the log. And at the moment, the group is at peace. You will see a slight singe mark on the wolf, and he's kind of looking around at all of you where it came from, kind of growling. But seeing that the creatures are gone, he eventually starts to settle down. Although a little less trusting towards the others. He kind of looks at you, Skywar, with bewildered eyes. You're welcome to try to calm him down if you'd like.
To be fair, it wasn't them this time.
Gotcha.
What language do you say that in?
Druidic.
Oh, okay.
He kind of sniffs and snorts at that comment, but then he comes back around and he looks his head into the log, and moments later you see him pull out one cub by the scruff of his neck with his front, with his teeth, and then reaches in to pull the other cub out with the front with his teeth, and you see two little black bear cubs, standing below this large giant wolf.
Aww.
He'll go ahead and pick up the one with his teeth to kind of carry him, and and nudge the other one to follow. And he'll start, motion with his head at you, Skyward, and the others to follow him as he tries to take you through the remainder of the jungle.
These cubs are gonna die.
No, they're
Stop
not.
it. No, they're not. I can bring them back.
Lorna's absolutely carrying one.
The most healing Callie's ever done in a session before the.
And I kept most of us alive last
I'm just joking. You
time.
did. You did a great job healing last time.
You're not
But, like,
Jester.
Would my first revivify be for these cubs? Probably.
1,000%. Lorna would
Well.
not be mad if she died over a bear cub.
Oh well.
Lorna would probably skin it and wear it as a hat.
Excuse me?
I mean, bears.
Me?
Stop. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not completely wrong.
It is.
I mean, based on
I'm
the
not saying
characters-
you. I'm saying your
Based
culture.
on the story Lorna's based off of, I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay. Culture-wise, yes, but no.
And your
Fun-
aunt had a big to do with a evil bear. So
Yeah, okay, but these are baby bears. They remind her of her like younger brothers, who's her father. So like,
that's true. I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
yeah, they have more
Also, they're
respect for bears.
children.
Yeah. Hey, Cronus, can we adopt these ones too?
I mean, do you think it's wise to have bear cubs around a dragon?
Why not?
Food.
Keep
No
your
offense,
child in
Cronus,
check.
if your son tries.
If your son tries, he's gonna get a smack to the face. And he's a dragon, he can handle it.
All right. Go ahead and give me some. If you guys are trying to make your way through the rest of the woods undetected, go ahead and give me some stealth checks. And with your guide, I'm not gonna make you roll a survival check, Skywar.
Still a 13.
Okay.
No matter what I do, it's just like, nope, you always have disadvantage.
15.
All right. Taking the guide into consideration as he leads you through the woods, you do hear some more shrieks and wailing through the hours of the night. It takes you to kind of make your way to the beach. But you do make your way eventually there, avoiding some conflict with some of the creatures that otherwise you may have bumped into the night without such a familiar guide. The sand, you hear the ocean crashing as you break through the tree line, and the wolf step kind of quicken as it hears the sound of the ocean, and it lets one of the cubs down, and then one of the other cubs, kind of trailing behind, not being able to move at the same speed, does eventually pop out of the woodwork with the rest of you as you guys are on the coastline. You do have the command word to summon the creature, or I'm sorry, summon Argo from the celestial bodies in the sky as soon as you're ready. And then the wolf kind of sits down patiently, looking at all of you.
Callie will say the word.
And you'll see the stars kind of in the light bend and twist as you start to see a ship kind of materialize out of some of the skylines and start to pierce through some clouds in the night sky as you see the magnificent flying ship once again appear before you. It descends down to you all, and it greets you with a very happy voice to say, "I'm so glad that you guys made it through the night. I feared the worst." What would you all like to do?
I am going to spend another charge on the Elder Willow and let the cubs know that they're going on a trip and that we're going to find them a nice place to stay.
Okay.
And that we are all friends.
The cubs are a little confused as to how they're able to speak with a human and a little surprised. And they kind of talk like babies and they look to the wolf that kind of nudges them forward, kind of pushing his head up against the cubs' heads. And the wolf will then kind of turn around and look at you, Skybor, say, group handled those creatures with a significant amount of finesse. I don't have no doubt that you do plan to take care of these creatures and what they've done to our world. And he'll kind of lean up against you a little bit, kind of brush up against you, and say, if you'll have me, I'd like to see where this goes further, stay with your group and see how this goes further. Maybe there's more good that I can do in helping rid of this world for good of these things.
But are you not needed here?
I feel like the blight on this land is starting to lessen, and I can only imagine that it's getting worse elsewhere in the world. Other forests and lands that need some protection.
Hey guys, the wolf wants to come with us.
I mean, who are we to say no?
Right?
All right, you can join us, but just don't be surprised that the short one wants to ride you.
That was going to be my next question.
Honestly, Anika 100% would have. Would have already figured out how to try to ask it or at that.
It kind of looks at the group and looks kind of disapprovingly. He's like, I'm not a pet.
I'm just saying.
How do I climb on this aboard this vessel?
Is there like a gangplank or is it just a rope that's lowered down?
There's a little rope ladder that descends down to let you kind of climb up and board.
Right. I got this.
I guess technically, if you're okay with him landing on in the sea, he could release put down a gangplank for you guys to walk aboard rather than climbing a rope.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't hear the wolf's question. We just see it looking at the rope.
That's true.
Hey, Skyball, how do we plan on getting all of these? Can the wolf climb?
Actually, I'm going to cast Spider Climb on the wolf.
Can you
odd and weird sensation, but he does eventually. His paws seem very hesitant, almost like a dog walking up backless stairs, where the stairs are kind of have no stop to them, and it looks cautious, but eventually feels like his paws are tethered to whatever surface he's climbing on, and then he starts to ascend the ladder with a little bit more confidence about 3/4 of the way up.
I'm scooping up the other black bear and taking it up.
Right. Can you tell the black bears that we're going to help them up?
They're going to carry you up.
Right. No biting.
I was like halfway to picking this thing up, and then I picked it up.
Yes. Lorna will pick up too and click her heels and fly up.
The bears let you pick them up, and as your hair kind of gets in their face and stuff, you'll see them kind of gnawing and mouthing at it like a cat does when you have a rope or string in its face as it's trying to nibble at it. It will probably mouth your shoulder a little bit, whoever's carrying it up, but not bite it. Enough to feel the teeth, but not puncture the skin. Although they're babies, they are still powerful, strong little hardy creatures. And there you can feel kind of the claws gripping into your armor and your whatever gear you're wearing to kind of maintain their grip on you. Something that probably would not feel great against bear skin.
So my armor is literally molten bronze that is on my skin.
But you
I'm
all
fine.
ascend the ship with all your new followers as well as Raditz, and he kind of assesses the ship, looks it over, and he does seem somewhat interested in the magical capabilities of this flying ship. I assume you guys take off as soon as you guys are all aboard to Vegeta's island.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
And in the meantime, on the travel there, we need to make a den for the bears.
Yes. Yes, we do.
And Spirit Wolf if he wants it.
Yes.
Whatever the hell's in the hull of this ship.
Sure. You guys could probably find some. It's a magical ship. I'm sure you could find some magical hay and stuff to make some bedding for these bears to make the voyage. And you guys, and the wolf will spend some time, a little bit of time, with the bears as you guys make your way through the night sky, heading back to Vegeta's palace. And I think that's where we will call it for the night and pick up next session as you guys make your way back to Vegeta.